So, my new Polo Pro filters came in the mail yesterday. These are actually round 2 for the Polo Pro Cinema Series. This is the Vivid collection for my Mavic 2 Zoom, as you can see there. Haven't opened them yet. The problem with the first one, the first pair I received, was none of them threaded onto the lens of my Mavic 2 Zoom. So I guess the only backstory I could have is that was the first time I'd ever tried to apply a lens filter or a different lens filter from the standard DJI Mavic 2 Zoom example. How about I just pull it out and talk. So looking here at the gimbal, the lens cover that is over the camera, currently that's the original one. The first time I ever removed it was to apply the attempt to thread on the new lens covers from Polo Pro. Unsuccessfully, I wasn't able to get any of the filters on. And I would intermittently return to putting the original lens on it with thread on without any issue. However, the Polo Pros didn't. These arrived yesterday. I haven't had a go with them yet, so I thought I'd do this on camera. Where are we? These are brand new. I don't know if you can see, but that's still. A bit on the customer service of Polo Pro. I can't complain. I'll actually admit that the first place I went to was a forum or a Facebook page. Sorry, put my question on there. Is anyone having problems? Has anyone else experienced this? It turned out that no one else had anything but fantastic experience with Polo Pro products, and most were surprised. Hard to offer any advice for something that no one's had experience with a problem with. So anyways, I got into what was amazing was someone reached out to the CEO of Polo Pro, or sorry, correction, a founder of Polo Pro on that Facebook page, who replied in that thread that please get in touch with Polo Pro through the proper means. Great customer service. Everyone on the page following the comments said exactly the same thing. Polo Pro's customer service was fantastic. My experience was reasonable. It was late in the week in Australia. I got in touch with them through their website, explained the problem. They immediately got back to me within a very fast period of time, less than 24 hours. They got back to me saying, "Yep, cool, ticket raised, we're on this." And then I didn't hear anything through the weekend, obviously. Monday came along in Australia, so it was still the weekend in the US. Tuesday came along, I sent an email saying, "Hey, what's the plan?" Wednesday, getting nervous, what's the plan? Thursday, what's the plan? What's happening? And by the end of the week, someone eventually, I raised another ticket at that point, concerned that I was being ignored, and also concerned that I had purchased directly from Polo Pro in Australia. So I didn't have a local retailer to back me up or support my problem, I guess. It's a bit of a bulge there, I see. I haven't actually opened this, but we'll see in a moment. The long and short of it is someone got back to me and said, "Hey, yeah, we're sending you a new one." Of course. And I'm relief. Fantastic. What do I do with the old pair? The old set? The gist of it was, we don't care. Get rid of them. Throw them out. They're useless. I don't disagree. The first pair, the first package I received, none of the lenses threaded onto that lens. These aren't exactly meat hooks. I've worked with. I'm not a moron. I know how to thread something on. They refused to thread on. The more that I attempted to thread them on, the more I was concerned that I was damaging either these or worse, my the threading on the gimbal camera. So stop. However, I'll reiterate what I said before. Between each time I tried to fit a lens from the Polar Pro, I would go back and then refit the original lens, and it goes on no worries. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm competent, somewhat. So anyways, here we are. It's a bit of a bulge here. It's probably just packaging. So anyways, we're looking. You know what I was a little disappointed with? At the same time as purchasing the Mavic 2 zoom lenses, I also purchased a similar package for my GoPro Hero 7 Black. And what I was disappointed on, and this is through shipping, nothing to do with Polar Pro, but all of my lenses had fallen off their rubberized type retainer that keeps them in that position there. You can see they're secure in that position. That's how my other zoom lenses arrived as well. However, the GoPro ones were all loose and overlapping and obviously concerning. None of them were damaged, none of them were scratched. They seemed fine. It was just horrible to see. So anyways, let's... Oh, and I've just dropped the thing that was making the bulge. You already knew what it would be. This is the tool to help me remove that. And I've just realized, ignore that. I'm sure my boss wouldn't like me, like knowing, but it's lunchtime, so whatevs. Alright, let's remove all of the bits. Man, that's so nice. I don't know why, but the packaging, that's just that little finer touch. Magnetized. These and the GoPro lenses were my first experience with Polar Pro, first experience with any filters, not on a DSLR type camera, and sexy packaging. The Cinema Series, I'm not sure if these are special. We're looking on some local retailers. It seemed this sort of bronze, burnt bronze finish is perhaps limited. Doesn't really matter. Nice packaging is what I'm getting at. Very happy with this also. As well as the GoPro versions, with the exception of the retainer, they fell off. I mentioned that, but that's a really nice way to carry them. Instructions. I read the instructions the first time. I'm not doing that again. All right. Here we go. Let's have a look. Hard to tell. I'll just look at them from here. No scratches. They all look fine. All right, here comes the fun part. Let's see if I can do this on camera. I wonder if it's a bit loose. Oh, still is. That's good. You've sort of, what I found nice is to grab a hold of that gimbal, a couple of fingers. You need to hold the whole drone, I feel, so that you've got a good, stable platform. Use the tool to start the de-threading. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Alright, so let's see if we can get on camera. This is something that upset me about the Polar Pro's first version. Let's see if you can see it. You can. Oh, I can't touch it. I was trying to focus. What you can see, I'm gonna get a pointer. There, if it's sort of focused, what you can see there is a bit of shininess on the threading. That's in different locations now. That's courtesy of trying to apply the first Polar Pro lenses. So although I'm very thankful that Polar Pro have come to the party and replaced the first set without question, without issue, reasonable speed of response, paid for the shipping from the States to Australia all over again. Very thankful for that. I'm not so thankful that I am left with scarred threads. You can see it's terrible. All will be forgiven. I don't think I'll ever sell this thing, so all will be forgiven if this just works. Let's select the lowest one here. This is the ND4. Trying to make sure it's square. I'll get a hold of it like I had a hold of it before. Oh. Too much talking, not enough action. They just don't go on square, do they? Oh, you see, they'd like to jump off. I feel like I'm being played with here. Look. Watch. So, back to the original. Yeah. Goes on. No worries. Back to the Polar Pro. Brand new. Round 2. Oh, I feel like screaming. It just can't catch the threads. Oh, have we? Maybe. No, it's just not catching the threads. And now I've touched the lens. Great. I'll clean it. Woosa. Woosa. Serious, if someone, I'm gonna post this, if someone sees something, I'm trying the ND8. Do we have liftoff? See, when I feel like it's biting, I'm gonna try and, when I feel like I'm getting some bite, it starts to go off square. Oh, it's on this side. Look at that gap on the thread. There's my, oh look here, it's doing it already. Look, there's my GoPro ones. You can see one's jumped out. I'm gonna get this. We're gonna do this. You're gonna enjoy me. You're gonna hear with me. I just turn and turn and turn, and then the threads are clean. This drone has never been crashed. It's never been dropped. It's always been stored well. It's always been stored in that case. This is me defending myself. What seemed obvious to me from the response on the DJI Facebook page. Sorry, it wasn't a DJI page. It was a private page on Facebook. What seemed obvious to me is that no one had experienced the issues I was talking about, and just said it just went on. And I just spin and spin. So perhaps this is a... I'm now imagining this is a DJI problem, which isn't possible because you're making the product for DJI. They can make it however the hell they want to make it. If you're buying it, manufacturing after manufacturer's product, for this, you need to conform to this. Unless mine's an anomaly as well. But it's an anomaly that fits the original lens. Watch it, look at it. It's just gonna go, I find the home, goes straight on. No gap, no worries, straight on. So, it comes off nicely. There's no grittiness, there's no crepitus feeling, besides the fucking scratching that your lenses are doing to this black, to this black portion of the lens. Then I don't fucking know what the problem is. Let's try the 16. I'm sure now, I just thought I was just gonna make a movie of it just working, you know? And now what I'm feeling is going to happen is Polar Pro is going to say, oh, round 2 hasn't worked, hey? This sounds like it's a your problem thing. We would... Geez, this one feel like it's going on. It's square. We haven't... There is a gap, a considerable gap compared to what the original went. It's very hard to point out. So just there, that gap there. It feels... I can't believe this. It's gone on. It's firm. That part's adjustable, obviously. I can't seem to thread it on anymore, which tells me it's gone to the end of the thread. So I'd be cautious about applying any more tension to it. Oh gosh, bugger it. It's not coming off, but I certainly don't like that there's that gap there. Is that normal? Comments below if that's not normal. Certainly not coming off. It's free to adjust, but that gap is concerning. What's the difference between these two? You know what? Oh, Jesus Christ. That's the original. Oh, now I've touched the lens. Great. So what's certainly obvious to me is that, and you're not going to be able to see this in this video at all, but there is a substantial... DJI has almost no threads. A couple of threads. The Polar Pro has a number of threads. Surely my eyesight's not that bad. And it seems like a polished finish on those threads for the DJI versus this bronze coating. I wonder if this is the coating is having a problem with this. Is it an electronic coating? Is it an actual applied coating? I don't know. I tell you what I do know. I've got one on. So for the first time I received these, I'm gonna get back here. When I received these for the first time, well, no word of a lie, I spent 45 minutes attempting to apply my first round of Polar Pro for, lens covers, all 3 of them, over and over. Try. Intermittently putting on the original to make sure I hadn't damaged the threads. Inspecting the threads on the Polar Pro to make sure I hadn't damaged them. No apparent damage, with the exception of that scratching that these Polar Pro lenses are doing to my gimbal. Other than that, I wouldn't call that damage. Well, damage that would affect the ability to screw on. So I've got some questions. Is that gap normal? Let's see if we can. That gap is perhaps 1.5 mils, maybe. I'm guessing. Let's see if I can unscrew this and reapply it. Oh my god. Jeez, it doesn't feel smooth at all. Yeah, and you can't see it, but I would, what I believe is some of that coating is being removed from the first couple of threads on this thing. Alright, going back to the original, the first one I tried, and D4. Calm down. It's gonna work. I need your positivity. Give it to me. Let's have a look at this. Does not feel good. It feels gritty and grimy. There's too many threads on this thing. And it just spins and spins. I can just keep turning. It's square, it appears very square. I've got some resistance. It feels like something has grabbed, but it is not square. I've got it to grab, but I've threaded it, and it's barely catching. Look, what do I do? What do I do? It just spins and spins. And I thought it was grabbing on something, but it's not. It's square. It's not square now. It's threaded poorly. Like I can see it's not square. So what it's bitten onto is fuck knows. Demonstration, original lens. You can see all that shiny scratching going on in the black part. Oh. Yeah, fans at home. I feel no grittiness, no griminess. It's on square. It threaded a number of times. It's on lovely. It's on perfect. Oh. What the fuck? Round 2. That might be handy. Lifetime warranty. Although I don't want them replaced again and again and again if they don't bloody work. Here's some of the install steps. Step 1. To uninstall, support the gimbal with your hand. Using the other hand, turn the stock UV counter clockwise and pull off. Check. To streamline this process, use the included filter removal tool that is designed to help remove the stock UV filter for the first time. Used that the first time. You can see now it was on there good. Yep, got it off. Don't really need to use it again. It is not needed to remove our filters, however. It doesn't say however. To learn how to remove your filters, visit blah, 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 blah. Step 2. Next, thread your ND or ND-PL filter onto the camera. On ND-PL filters, once installed, make sure your reference line is centered on top for horizontal polarization. You are now ready to fly. No, I'm not. I'm not ready to fly. Oh, there's some additional help. Bam. Check YouTube. You're going to join me attempting to fit one more. Just feels lovely going on and off. Lovely. DJI, you make a good product. Polar Pro, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. Okay. That shininess really, well, when I say shininess, I'm saying the scratching that attempting to put these on has applied to my drone is egging me on. But I guess that's only important if it damages it or if I try to sell it, because then I got to explain how did that happen. Ah, that's fun, isn't it? Okay, so we're square. Oh, we're not. Oh, we're very, very close to square. Jesus. So, what can I say? What I'm looking at right now is it perhaps got it on to bite onto one thread? I don't think it's square though, so that tells me that I've threaded it. However, arguably, it's on. Some force applied to try and get it off. It's not coming off. But this terrible part, this gap here is now even greater. Probably just over 1.5 mils. I don't think that's acceptable. I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. I barely got it to thread onto something. Something. Yeah, see, it was barely biting onto anything. And considering, and you can't see it, I don't know, but considering there's so many threads on this thing, there must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-ish threads on that. That was barely biting onto anything. Let's go back to the third version, which is the ND16. That's the one the first time I've managed to thread it onto something. Oh Jesus. Yeah, that sort of just went straight onto there. But again, gap. Crazy gap. Tell me if that's right or wrong. So it's on firm. It won't thread on anymore. Let's see how many twists it takes to get it off. Quarter. Half a turn. Half a turn to get it on, half a turn to get it off. I can get one filter to go on. Back to the first one, ND4 PL. I wonder if it's this coating. Let's have a look at this coating. Has it come off? No, just that half of the thread of that. I can see perhaps the coating has come off. Okay, so that's bitten on. But right at the start, I can't turn it anymore. It's on firm. Let's see how much it takes to pull it off. Oh jeez. I don't think it's not cross-threaded. Oh, I've twisted a little bit, Quarter, not even a quarter of a turn, and it's off. It's been 30 minutes. I've wasted 30 minutes. I've filmed it all. I look forward to your response. I thought I would show. I have no. See, there's probably a bit of dirt in one of these feet here. Where I landed the other day, it was a little bit moist from the previous day's rain. Only a little bit. But the drone's not damaged. Let's turn this on. Oh. That's my sad noise now. What say you? Comments. Whoops. Never held down that button before. Let's try again.